Hi guys, welcome to my channel. That's a Chelsea Blue. I'm just going to sort of have a little chat really about yesterday's game with Charlton, the Chelsea FC or Kinetic FC 5, Charlton 1. As we saw, Jalhato had a really good goal to make it 1-0. That was it basically the first half. Um, quite a quite a poor first half really, wasn't it? One of the best of halves. Badashile obviously getting a yellow card, and then we have a corner. Corner from Bonotti. Um, Tossing gets a head onto it to make it 2-0. Then we have an incident then in the Chelsea box where there's a bit of a craziness going on, and the ex-Chelsea boy Lee Byrne scores the goal, and then it's Chelsea 2-1. Then we get Bonotte's shot comes off the keeper, and then Maku obviously scores his goal. Then we get the Enzo Fernandez. He passes it across to Pedro Neto, and then he sort of as it takes a shot, takes a lot of deflection when you look at it. But anyway, that makes it 4-1, and then we have then Esteval obviously on the pitch, uh, you know, direct, once full of energy, full of life, runs into the box, um, goes towards the keeper, keeper takes him out, gets a penalty. Enzo takes his penalty and converts it. So we win the game, as I said, 5-1. Then we get all the PR and this Leon Messina, his first game, and we get fans chant his name. Um, where Enzo Maresca was there 18 months and was called his name twice, I believe. But it's just first game in charge against Charlton, and then you getting all the waffle end of he's the first manager to win his first game. Um, like Conte did, but Conte played a West Ham, and we played Charlton. Um, so yeah, I think there's a bit of difference personally. But we were poor like the first half. We were poor apart from that the goal from Jalhato. We were poor. But you getting the same old from YouTubers. He's old Gaffer and that Lewis is it from Rev thingy on YouTube. Back in November when we beat, or not beat, we wish we did, Arsenal, where finished 1-1, and he was like, we owned Arsenal, you know, he was the same person, we're gonna win with this, that, and the other. Honestly, like that, I don't know what he's on, what he's smoking, or what he's taking, but some heavy gear that. But yeah, it's the same old from other, some of the other YouTube content creators. Just talk, some of them just talk absolute nonsense. I know it's everyone's different opinion, and everyone's going to be different anyway. My opinion, some of you won't agree with, which is fine. As I said, everyone's entitled to their opinions. It's a free world, as they say. But yeah, as I said, you get in, same old PR. Um, you know, I mean, Charlton. At the end of the day, they said that, or I read, um, Jarrell Hatto costs as much as the whole team of Charlton. So it just shows a difference in the finances, as it were. I know you can only play what's in front of you. We've been, people are saying about because Chelsea struggle with Lincoln and Cardiff City, and then we destroy, Charlton 5-1. We're this super team now. Um, we beat Charlton, as I said. If we lost, which could have happened, then it would be obviously embarrassing. But we won, great. On to the next one. But let's see what happens with Arsenal. Yeah, let's see what happens when we play Arsenal. This Liam Rosenior, see what he can do then. If we get a win, Liam Rosenior, fair enough, but it's just going to be the same old, really. I said at the end of the day, he's just being dictated by people around him and above him. The team he picked out was rotation again, getting some of the young players out to for value, for them to be sold on. So it's a plus really for the owners and for everybody really. As I said, with the chants were brilliant again. The our supporters chanting Roman's name and we don't care about Clear Lake because Clear Lake don't care about us. And fuck off, Barley. As I said, wish he would. I wish he would. Go do us all a favour and let's get our Chelsea back. At the end of the day, that's all we want. If they had the same mentality as the fans, we'd be all right. If they had ambition for getting proper quality, experienced players, a striker, a centre back, goalkeeper, and a decent quality, manager, we might be on the same page. But too much has gone now. It's just gone on too long now for people to sort of go ahead with this project or this model. The model is just, you know, a farce. Is never going to work and it never will work. It haven't worked. I said we're 4 years in now and it's still not working. So, as I said, it's people need to wake up. So yeah, just gonna read a couple of little things I found. As I said with Liam Rosenior, he's only been here like 5 minutes and having his name chanted. I'm not saying for people to jump on his back. At the end of the day, he's done nothing wrong. He's already working under his blue coat umbrella, so he's just gone from one place to the other to he's being dictated where to go. So you can't really blame him for coming to Chelsea. It's a major upgrade, that's for sure, for him. Unfortunately, it's not an upgrade for us. We're the ones that we should be having an elite manager or gaffer, as a lot of people are saying. But they said this Liam Rosenior, he's not a gaffer, he's not a manager. He's just a head coach or coach. He don't pick the team, even though he claims he picks the team. He has no matter. He has no say in the matter of picking the team and who he wants and who starts and who comes off the bench and who's on the bench. Even the everybody around him dictate all that. As I said, he's just a puppet, to the people above. So yeah, I said we were chanting his name, in after the win. I'm happy we won, obviously, but it don't make much odds really. So that was just that. Um, so yeah, as I said, the game was, as I said, it was quite a poor game. Yeah, okay, we sort of dictated possession, and we had quite a few chances and a lot of shots. But in the first half, it wasn't much really going on as such. There was a few, the bad shield, and then incident when he got himself a yellow card. But what do you expect? And then, but the game sort of went a bit decent flow. Is when Esteval come on for about 20 minutes roughly, something like that. They said such a direct and such a um, talent, and he is somebody decent that these owners have looked at and bought because obviously data told them to. But gets you on your feet when he has that ball. He's full of life, full of trickery, got a bit of pace about him. Loves taking on players. I said as soon as he come on, he had a couple of efforts. Could have passed at one or two parts of the game, and maybe that person could have scored or had a shot. But but then he won a penalty, which Enzo obviously converted. So yeah, but no, I said Enzo is such a good talent. He's definitely got something about him. He's certainly better than Garnacho, and because Garnacho didn't really do much. As I said, he sort of passed the ball for one of the goals. I think it might have been a Magu goal. Um, and then he had that shot then in the 52nd minute where it just went wide, a bit of a curler. But apart from that, he really didn't do much. He just ran the players, and end product is there's not much product there really at the end. Gittins was was good, considering. But then again, we were only playing Charlton. He had quite a few chances, or a few shots, I should have said. But yeah, I said Chile was poor. Tossing was alright. I know he's got his goal. He was okay, but yeah. Then Jalahato, as I said in my video review yesterday, he was obviously the best of the bunch. Um, and then Achapong, he had a good shot as well, which the keeper saved. But he had a good game. Um, Santos and Caicedo had a decent game. Then you had obviously Bonote. He had, he started off a bit slow, and then he sort of grew into the game a bit. And then, as I said, Marku, I know he scored the goal, a bit of a rebound, and but apart from that, all right, he didn't have much. Not much went his way, but you can only do what you can do. But he's quite quiet. And some of the other players that come on, the lap come on, he had a couple of efforts. Same with, I said, Enzo, he had a couple of shots. So yeah, um, quite a straightforward game, as I said. But when Esteban come on, there was a bit more, a bit more style or a bit more flair. He turned the game personally. But yeah, as I said, there's so much PR now of you know the same old blue ticks, posting about the team, and we're impressed that Alex Goldberg, I think his name is. I mean, I don't know what he's on. He's saying that this Liam Rosenior, is going to be the next Mourinho. I mean, he's going to surpass him. I don't know whether he's being sarcastic or he's on really good gear. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, come on. I know he looks a nice guy and he's got football brain and knowledge, but I don't think he's going to be a world class manager. Um, but yeah, as I said, then you had the silly PR then from Leo Senior about the goalkeepers world class, and with the feet, and I don't know what he's been watching, but they're certainly not world class. They're not a Petr Cech or a Courtois or Coutinho. Um, they're just average at best. The whole team really is average at best, but a certain amount of individuals. With your Caicedo, your Palmer, your Cucurella, and Esteval, and obviously our Reece James. Apart from that, that's really it. That Jarahato, yeah, he's last couple of games he's been a bit more involved and he's looking a bit better. But no, as I said, we struggled like, in the first half really, apart from the goal. Not much was happening. Second half, a few more things were happening. But I said when you get in the PR, you know, typical though, isn't it? As soon as we win a game, everybody starts, our Messiah, bow down to the Messiah. Um, no, too soon for all that. Let's see what happens in another year or two if he's still here. That is, I don't think he'll. But then again, he seems to be a bit more of a yes man. Looking at him, I think they're just giving him a few extra scripts to say to the media and to certain fans, and the certain fans are obviously, you know, sucking it up. They believe everything he says. Some of the I said some of the accounts, YouTube accounts, I don't know what they're on sometimes. The stuff they're saying and coming out with. Yeah, I'll never turn against Liam Pacino, as I said, because he's just doing his job like anybody else would. He's just lucky he's come into a job like what he is. But so obviously I don't want people give him any stick because it's not his fault. You can't go label him after one game. He's a top manager or anything like that. But yeah, so that's basically it. It's just there's so much PR today, and it's all roughly the same old, same old. This guy's good and that's good. Gittins was world class, and Caicedo was world class, um, and Garnacho was world class. Against Charlton at the end of the day. But they said Caicedo had a good game, but he won a world class game because he won playing against a world class team. But as I said on Wednesday, apparently um, they're saying that there's a possibility that Palmer might not be involved. We'll find out on Tuesday with the preview, see what happens. Um, but I think that we'll have the team. Um, I think it'd be Sanchez, Cucurella. I think Cucurella's back. I think, and then you'll have. I presume Trevor Chalobah will be back. Then you probably get Fofana back, I imagine, and you will hopefully have Reece James back, and then it'd be Enzo Caicedo. And if Palmer's back, he'd be obviously. I'd imagine he'd be at this number 10 position. And then we'll have probably a Baby Lurch on the left, maybe a Pedro Neto on the right, and probably Liam Delap at top. That's what I'd probably go for as of today. But I'll have a look a bit more into it on Tuesday when we find out from the preview. But yeah, I just fed up with all this PR, all this, you know, hyping everything up again, Well, we hype FC. We win a game over Charlton. Who I think they've had lost 7 games, or I was reading or something. They're in a bit of a bad sort of like 17th or 19th or wherever they are in the table. They're not doing very particularly well in the championship, so we should be turning over these games really. So yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Unless, of course, something else breaks out in the next couple of hours. This will be probably the only video. See what happens tonight or what PR we are getting, anything interesting. I'll either post it tonight or sometime tomorrow. But yeah, once again, I said, like the channel, or subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and like button, put your comments down below, and yeah, as I said, much respect to everyone, and hope everybody's doing good. And I'll see you on the next video. So yeah, respect to everybody, and win, lose, draw, Luco out, clear leg out, and that's a Chelsea Blue out. Cheers, guys. See you in the next one.